All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the DSC USC 2020 Info Session. We'll be waiting a few more minutes for people to start trickling in, and then we'll get started. Yeah, so for everyone who's just trickling in, we're going to get started in a couple of minutes. We're just waiting for a few more people to show up, and yeah, we'll be live very soon. All right, everyone. Welcome to our first DSC 2020 Info Session. So today we'll be going over Developer Student Club USC and our plans for the semester. Yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so before we actually go into any detail, if you guys can please fill out this survey. It's just a few questions on what you guys might want to see from us this semester, and what we might be able to do to best serve you, and when your schedules are most available, and that sort of thing. So I'll give you guys a couple minutes to do that first before we go into the actual meat of the presentation. All right. Now that you guys are all done, hopefully are all done with the survey. If not, you guys we'll be sending out this presentation by email. So if you guys need to do anything, look over anything on here again, or do any of these actions, you'll be able to do so in the future. Well, then I'll start off by going over what is DSC. So DSC is a USC student organization. We're supported by Google developers, so we have access to certain Google developers resources like study jams and quick labs. So the ability to teach people using like Google tutorials and such like lesson formats. We also work with a network of other clubs in North America to develop practical software engineering skills. So other clubs around the country are also hosting events and are also are also relevant in the conversation and also hosting their own projects. And we'll be able to invite you to some of those as well. We also host workshops relating to Google and other technologies to teach students practical skills. And we work with our local community members to create projects. And for these projects, you may submit them to the Google's DSC Solution Challenge, which we'll be going over a bit later in the presentation. And this is a yearly Google competition where students from around the country can submit solutions that best impacted their communities and potentially win interesting prizes and support from Google. All right, so we'll be introducing the core team. So my name is Zi Wu. I am the DSC lead for this semester. I'm currently a junior and I'm a computer science major. I am also currently working with machine learning research in a USC lab and taking several fun classes. So yeah, and you can see my Discord tag below. And I'll let one of the other leads introduce themselves. So.
Yeah, so hello, I'm Raymond here. I'm going to be the events lead for this semester. I'm currently a junior major in computer science. It's going to be exciting this semester, yeah.
All right, I'll go to the next slide.
Hi, I'm Vaishnavi Manjunath, currently a second-year graduate student pursuing Masters in Computer Science. So I'll be the technical lead for the Google Developer Club for the coming year, and I'll be mainly your point of contact for career and industry-related questions. So you can find my Discord tag below.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm a sophomore. I'll be your AI machine learning tech lead this year. I'm double majoring in comp sci and quantitative biology, and other things I'm involved in on campus are machine learning research, Case++, if you've heard of that, and other things. Yeah, excited to get started this year.
Hi everyone, this is Abhishek and I'll be the tech lead for web development this year for DSC. And apart from that, I'm a software developer for Viterbi iPodia program here at USC. Looking forward.
All right, yeah, so these are all our leads. So we have several of our other leads couldn't make it today, so we included their Discords in this slide deck. And if you ever need to contact us regarding any information or any projects that you might be interested in, that sort of thing, feel free to add us on our Discord channel. Speaking of which, yeah, so Discord will be our primary channel of communication and collaboration for the club. If you haven't already, please join the Discord using the link or the QR code. And yeah, so my goal for Discord is that we'll be working together to support you guys. If you guys ever have any questions, please post them in the channels. If you guys ever have any things that you want to discuss with the community, or if you guys want to get involved in any other way, yeah, please use the Discord server as a method to communicate with each other. And yeah, I'll also be me and the rest of the leads will also be posting any potentially useful information, either Google related or anything that we think will be useful for developers in the relevant Discord channels, if you guys wish to follow up on that. So yeah, if you guys, please join the Discord if you haven't already. And yeah, that'll be it. Next will be Raymond talking about the events and workshops that we have planned for the semester.
All right, yeah, so we're going to have events aiming for weekly and bi-weekly. It's going to be sort of a new format, but doing things remote, we still plan to host workshops, fun events, sort of like game nights, and also career events like resume workshops and also partner events that'll be upcoming.
Oh, hello there again. It's Sam, your AI lead this semester, this school year. And hopefully, as you can tell by all the fun logos on screen, we got a lot in store for you this year. So it's my job and the rest of the AI leads' jobs to introduce you guys to AI and machine learning technologies that you guys will need in order to explore machine learning more effectively on your own. So these would include TensorFlow, Colab, some GCP, Google Cloud products such as BigQuery and AutoML Vision. These are all useful tools that we'll be exploring this year. And don't worry if you have absolutely zero experience in AI or machine learning. We'll also be hosting events teaching you basic Python, basic linear algebra and math and other machine learning concepts that you guys will need to truly understand what's going on. And also hopefully get involved in some Kaggle competitions. So yeah, please come to our events. Don't feel discouraged at all. We got a lot to show you.
Great. Yeah, next we'll have Abhishek, who will be talking about our web workshops for this semester.
Hi everyone, I'm Abhishek again. So you must have filled the survey and you must have seen technologies that we intend to deliver for this school year. Those will be starting from scratch, like you don't need to know anything. We'll be talking about everything in there. So basically we plan to have bi-monthly hands-on sessions, and major of times it's like when you work on something you are stuck, so you can reach out to us like whenever you are working on for a portfolio, for a resume website. You can reach out to us on the Discord channel and get in touch with any one of us, like the tech leads, and then they can help you with the architecture. So there'll be also workshops which will definitely be encouraging, and those will actually help you to deliver some good content in hackathons or projects. So looking forward to see you all.
All right, next we'll have Vaishnavi, who is our careers lead. So she'll be focusing, well, she can talk about that next.
Hi everyone, I'm Vaishnavi Manjunath. So the focus of the career and industry track for this year is to help everyone get going with respect to internships and jobs. So a lot of us have questions related to when is the right time to apply, and most of the resources that we find around can be a lot and overwhelming and confusing. So our plan is to basically get you started with this process in terms of resume reviews and lead code related to data structures and algorithm preparation, and maybe trying to help you get going with starting from brute force solutions to how to reach the optimized code, few tips and tricks for interviews, writing clean and very concise code, which is going to really matter in your interviews, and also to do with pattern and technique based problem solving, because most of the problems that you see in DS Algo are usually pattern and technique based rather than just memorizing the techniques. We would want you to understand them better. And also we have planned to conduct a lot of keynote speaker series sessions based on various interests and topics, and we'll probably reach out to you to know your interests. And also we have planned to have mentorship and one-on-one sessions to help you get started with this. So looking forward to working with all of you.
Yeah, so we also are going to have, as I mentioned earlier about like events, there are also external events hosted by other developer student clubs across North America. So if you guys join the Slack, well, my bad, the Discord, it's going to be in there under that channel. And also we'll be having fun events, like I mentioned earlier, aiming for that bi-weekly and weekly sort of events for game nights. and other community events.
All right. Yeah. Next, we'll be having a guest speaker from Google, who is the so Danny, who is the administrator of DSC North America, and yeah, I'll give the floor to him.
Well, howdy, y'all. Good afternoon, or I guess mid-afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from. I am in Austin, Texas. My name is officially Daniel Fiorello, but please, by the end of this, feel free to call me Danny. One of the things that I try to do here with not just my DSC leads and core team, but I also like to make friends with the members out of our chapters. So on this next slide, what you'll see is a couple ways to contact me. I encourage you, please take a moment and connect with me on LinkedIn and follow me on Twitter if that is your thing as well. Admittedly, I am just getting this Twitter kicked off for some work, but give me a follow and you'll see some amazing new things that I push out about Google technologies as well as events that I find very interesting for students. My profile, LinkedIn profile is also here because I would love to connect with each and every one of y'all. However, do me a favor. Mentorship starts with me, and the best thing I can do with y'all is to let you know whenever you send a message or a request on LinkedIn, send a message to accompany that request of connection, right? So what I would like all of y'all to do, if you're going to send me a request on LinkedIn, message me by saying, howdy, I met you at the info session. Just wanted to connect with you and add you to my network. You can change the message if you would like, but I encourage you, adopt that practice, remind these speakers or these potential connections where you met, as well as ask them for recommendations in the future if you so choose. But with those out of the way, allow me to formally introduce myself. So yes, again, I am Daniel Fiorello. I am the community manager here in the United States for the Developer Student Clubs. I also do support schools in Canada, but my primary responsibility is here in the United States. I did mention earlier, I'm located in Austin, Texas. I went to school at Texas Tech University. So for those who don't know, it is in Lubbock, Texas. The Texas Tech Raiders, our mascot is a Raider, right? So our logo is this, little guns, because we're from Texas. Originally went to school for management information systems. So a lot of what I've learned about developer technologies, coding, I've actually self-taught. I've gotten outside of the traditional university system, which is what makes me most excited about this Developer Student Club opportunity for y'all, is we're going to be giving you the opportunity to get resources here and now, which can help impact your journey today versus having to wait till after you leave university, discover you want to try something new, and then have to pay for learning of these new resources. So what I'm going to encourage you to do throughout this entire semester, number one, is way back when at the beginning of this info session, there was a survey, right? Take a moment and fill that survey out. We want to hear from y'all how we can build out a cadence of events, which will make y'all happy and get you connected with the technology you want to learn. So please take a moment, fill out that survey. But let's go ahead and continue on here. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the solution challenge, which was alluded earlier. There's a couple videos here that I want to play. We'll start with the one on the left, which is just a little promotional video about Developer Student Club's solution challenge. If you did not share your audio when you presented, then the audio will not play. So that is a-okay. If you did not do that, we'll just kind of continue to roll on. When y'all receive these, when you receive access to this slide deck, please take a moment and review these videos. The one on the left is just talking about how it's just a global initiative with DSC, which is going to allow you to compete with other student developers from across the world. The video on the right is about an Indonesia flood app, which was designed by students to help those in their area be notified of when a flood was coming and where to go to seek shelter. So take a moment after this info session and go ahead and watch those videos. But let's jump into a little bit more information about Solution Challenge. So if we could just move on to the next slide. All right. One of the best ways to think of Solution Challenge is like this. It's an annual competition where students are invited to identify a problem in their local community, use one or more Google technology or service, and aim to solve that problem, building a real-world application. On this slide deck, you will see a couple links. One of them is to talk about the full terms and conditions of entering the Solution Challenge project or challenge. Number one is using at least one Google project, or Google service or technology. Second is partnering with students from your university to tackle a real world issue. Now, we don't want you to just pick any issue at random. We actually want you to try to identify something in your community by working with a local nonprofit, a local business, or perhaps even like another student government or student club, which could use some sort of technological solution to a problem they are facing in the real world. The reason I bring this up is because in our previous slides, we talk about different events to teach you technologies, web development, TensorFlow, big data, all of these different things, machine learning, AI, but how does it all come together? Well, that's what the Solution Challenge is for. By identifying a problem and working with a real world solution at the end, it's going to take you from not only learning just about theories, but putting them into practical application via the Solution Challenge. So highly encourage y'all, take a moment, begin thinking of different ideas, maybe ask, business owners or nonprofits in the area if they're having problems that, perhaps they would like to come and discuss with this, new initiative to potentially have a solution be built for them. I do want to take a moment and just mention a couple things about the terms and conditions as well here before moving on. Number one, always read everything that you're going to be signing up for. So please go to this link and just quickly skim through it. If you have any questions, everything will be very outlined and detailed in this terms and conditions. Additionally, when you go to that page, you'll get a sneak peek at the evaluation criteria for these upcoming projects you would get to submit. So take a moment, go to this website when you have a chance. Our second bullet point here is the top 10 winning projects on our Google blog. So just recently, we actually finished the Solution Challenge from 2020. And what we did was we highlighted these 10 winners from across the globe via a Solution Challenge demo day. So whether you want to learn just a little bit more about the winning projects or actually watch the live demo where they get brought up on stage, they interact with Googlers, and they answer questions about their project, highly encourage you to take a moment and go to these links. It's going to provide you with some fantastic inspiration for the Solution Challenge, as well as maybe spark some interesting ideas about how you could potentially either, use some of these technologies in a different project, or maybe spark your interest to learn new technologies. So with that, that's pretty much it with Solution Challenge. So I think we can move on to questions if y'all have any.
All right. I wanted to mention one more thing about Solution Challenge. I'm having my project leads. They'll be working on compiling a list of local nonprofits and such that might need help and might be potentially useful and good Solution Challenge targets. So if you guys ever need ideas, please contact them once Solution Challenge gets started. Yeah, and that'll be, I believe that's the end of the presentation. Yeah, please add us on social media. And if you guys have any questions, please post them in the YouTube comments. We can see them. We can answer anything if you need any further clarifications or if you have any other comments. And yeah, that should be that will be the end of the presentation.
Any questions about the DSC Club, Solution Challenge, potential technology, the floor is yours, or shall I say the YouTube comments are yours. So make your voice heard now. Take a moment and ask your questions for us. Thank you. So it looks like we have our first question coming through about when and where will the slides be available. I would assume number one in Discord, and secondly, probably shortly after this info session concludes. Is that correct?
Yeah, immediately. Yeah. So I'll be sending out an email to the entire mailing list with the link, the presentation, and the slides. And yeah, so you'll be able to click through all the links and watch the videos. Sorry about the audio mishap there, but yeah. And I'll also be posting this on Discord. So if you guys need to see it there, that will also be available.
So while y'all think of some questions, I will talk about a few questions I heard from some of the other info sessions that I've joined so far. So number one, Danny, I know someone who goes to a different university who may be interested in learning these same technologies, but they don't have a developer student club. Am I able to invite them to our chapter? Great question. Simple answer is absolutely. In this new year, what we find is that in a virtual platform, it is easier for students to make use of these resources if they're in a virtual capacity, right? So as long as these students are still going to be going to the same, online websites that y'all would be going to join, it is totally okay with us if you want to share this with your fellow peers or students from another university. However, there's one thing to note. Please make sure that when you are sharing these links and opportunities, it does go to higher education students. We are looking to provide these resources to students of 18 years or older who are actively enrolled in either a college, university, or community college. If they are one of those, then it is a-okay to invite them to these events. Another question that I traditionally see is, are there any membership fees to join this club? Zero membership fee, as this is a free resources that these are free resources that Google developers are providing to all students with the developer student club availability on their campus. So this is a benefit to y'all, and make sure that your fellow students, whether they be a computer science major or not, are made aware of these resources to take advantage of them before they're gone.
Oh, all right. I see a question. What time in the day will the club meet? So, the club will be meeting. Okay. So I'm still up. It's still up in the air. In the survey, it has the best days, but not necessarily the best times. I think most of our meetings should be at 9, maybe a similar time to this. So in the 5 or 6 to 7 to 9 range. Hopefully that's when most people are the most available. And other than that, though, we might be having meetings inconsistently across, depending on what sort of meetings there are. Like we'll have like scheduled biweekly workshop sessions that will probably be the same time every week, and maybe after the first meeting we can have a survey to determine what the best times are. But we'll also have like random events scattered throughout the weeks and months, and for those events they might be at whatever time works best for people. We might send out surveys. We might just say, here's this time. Not everyone needs to show up. We'll have these available recorded as well if people need to watch them asynchronously.
Yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to circle back to for just a second. Is another benefit of these being live streamed and collected on YouTube is you can always come back and rewatch them later if you happen to be pulled into another class, or you work, or have to watch a family member. we understand that, and that's one of the reasons why we've made this switch in 2020. So hopefully this works out for y'all. But if there's something you want to see change about these events, feel free to let us know in these surveys. This is not a traditional club, if I may say so myself. It is very much a partnership between Google developers, students, and the community members to provide content to y'all. So if there's a specific time that y'all need to have an event, you just have to let us know, and we'll do our best to accommodate for everyone.
Yeah, another reason why I'm choosing to use Discord is that I want the club to, my goal is for the club to be very interactive. If you guys ever need to message us, all you need to do is add us. No, you don't need to email, there's no overhead to contacting us if you ever need to. And here we have another question. So is the deadline for the solution challenge at the end of the school year? I actually don't know this.
I got this one. So great question. Currently, the solution challenge actually is not open for registration. The reason I bring it up is because you can begin thinking of ideas and begin working towards learning new technologies before the actual registration opens. It is going to open sometime in January. This year, Solution Challenge ended at the end of April. I don't know exactly when y'all's school year ends, but that's the timeline we're looking to repeat again this year. We're going to open up in January, close, at the end of April. It might go a little over, but that's tentatively the schedule that I believe we're looking at.
Are there any other questions? If so, please post them in the chat. Oh, all right. Yeah, we have another question. So what is the format of the learning sessions, lecture-based or peer programming? I'll have Abhishek come up and answer that.
Sure, a great question. So it depends, whatever tech stack we are working. So there are different tech stacks that we intend to deliver this school year. So suppose we are working on, let's say Django. So first maybe we want to present something and give a hands-on session wherein maybe I or the another tech lead web development one will present their screen and then let you know through the basics. And then once we have a hackathon coming, or let's say we are working towards a solution challenge, then maybe we'll have separate breakout sessions wherein we can have peer programming sessions and then solve a particular problem while we are facing any errors to set up the code. Also, there was one more thing, wherein the career sessions part, wherein if you want to have a lead code solution to be completed, or you're not understanding a lead code problem, so there we can definitely do peer programming and then walk through the program, discuss the brute force approach, and then go about optimizing it. So that should be the gist of how we're supposed to deliver this school year. I answered your question.
Yeah, are there any other questions coming in? Hey, yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, all right. I think if there are no further questions for now, I think yeah, thank you guys all so much for coming. And for those of you who are watching this in the future, yeah, thank you guys for watching as well. If you guys have any other questions in the future, if you guys have any other comments for us, please add us on Discord. The link is right here and previously in the PowerPoint. Our goal is to be very interactive this year and to help you guys as much as possible. So yeah, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the channel and in future events. All right. Yeah, all right. Well,